I'm Sam Masata.
I'm Carissa Recchia.
And I'm Gianna Bossone.
And welcome to Wade's World!
Beautiful.
We have exciting news for all of you.
Today we're starting a new series.
It's called Our Educational Philosophies. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at my educational philosophy.
From the time that I was a little girl, education was something that became very important to me. I never failed to look forward to the first day of school when I was younger, and was fortunate enough to have amazing teachers throughout my elementary school experience. At a time that is crucial for development and laying the foundation for my education, I was surrounded by teachers who inspired me and made me confident in my abilities. From a young age, I loved being around people. I would play teacher with my friends when they would come over, or set up my American Girl dolls and pretend to teach them. I followed in the footsteps of all the teachers I had. I realize now that my time in elementary school and the way the teachers interacted and treated me was crucial to the rest of my educational experience. Being in an environment that encourages positivity, socialization, and enhances learning helped me to develop a passion for learning. As I got older, I wasn't sure if teaching was necessarily the path I would go down, but I knew that I wanted to work with children in some way. I got into Quinnipiac's occupational therapy program and planned to work with children in either an outpatient facility or a school district. Although I will not be getting a degree in education, my junior year of high school, I took an early childhood development class. 3 days a week, we had a class of about 10 children aged 3 through 5 come in. Every day, there was a different theme that we would design lesson plans around. Although this was not necessarily real school to the kids, getting them in a routine and helping them to gain knowledge that will help them as they enter kindergarten was important to us. These children looked up to each of us in the class, and it allowed me to see what an impact someone who is not necessarily a teacher but of authority can have on their life. Following my early childhood development class, my senior year of high school, I completed my Girl Scout Gold Award project. When coming up with my project idea, I had to find something I was passionate about, and once again, chose to work with children. Creative writing is something I feel is often overlooked in schools nowadays, being that the students are often taught to test. I went into 3 fourth grade classrooms at my old elementary school, and over the course of a month, wrote books about visiting the state of New Jersey with the students. Each child was assigned a county that they researched a place of interest in. They drew a picture to accompany it. I put all of them into a hardcover book, and a few weeks later, the books arrived and were put into both the school and public library. The children were so excited to see their hard work pay off, as well as use their imagination to write and illustrate. After reflecting on both my time in this class as well as my years as a student, I have come up with 5 elements of my own personal educational philosophy that I feel are extremely important. The first of the 5 elements is equality. There is oftentimes going to be situations, whether it's inside or outside the classroom, where students come together who are from different ethnic, socioeconomic, religious backgrounds, and making sure that we note those differences while not singling them out is extremely important to making sure that they get a quality education. Many teachers encourage their students to treat others the way they want to be treated. This is not only an important skill to learn inside the classroom, but is something that will stay with them for years to come outside the classroom as well. The third element of my educational philosophy is understanding. Not every teacher is going to take the time to understand why a student is acting a certain way, or why they say that they're studying for the test, but the test grade isn't really reflecting that. There could be things going on at home. There could be a learning disability present that hasn't been diagnosed. There are numerous factors that can oftentimes be overlooked just because a teacher doesn't try to understand where the student's coming from or what their history is. The next thing I'd like to talk about is encouragement. Now, this is something that I feel can either make or break a student. If Someone, for instance, does bad on an exam or an assignment, a teacher who says it's your fault. There's no chance you're getting the grade up. Will obviously lower the student's confidence, as opposed to a teacher who says, it's okay, better luck next time, here's some strategies that you can use to do better next time. There's time to get your grade up. Using those words of encouragement, although it seems like such a minor detail, can truly profoundly impact a student's educational experience. Motivation is the final element of my educational philosophy. Now, if you have a teacher who has a group of students who are not very motivated and finds that the material they're learning won't benefit them, they don't need to know this in the future, it won't impact them as professionals, having a teacher who's able to sit down and say, this is why you need to learn it. This is how it will benefit you in the future. This is what you can use it towards, will likely motivate the students to do the work and learn and understand the material. So you may be asking yourself, if you're not going to be a teacher, how are you going to incorporate these things into your professional career? So for me, I'm going to be an occupational therapist, and while I would like to work with children, my clinical rounds will have to be in different settings. So as for equality, I feel like it's a big emphasis that the OT program here places on treating your patients equally. We took a whole semester-long class on ethics and treating patients equally and making sure that you don't come into a meeting with a patient with a preconceived notion of something about their culture or their ethnicity or anything like that. As for respect, obviously as a professional you want to treat all your clients with respect and hope that they treat you with the same level of respect, but also understanding that they're going through a difficult time. If you have a stroke victim, obviously their life is turned upside down, so kind of understanding that their level of respect may not be where it would be normally is important too. As for encouragement, you want to push them without overdoing it. You have to acknowledge the small things. An OT that I shadowed in the school over the summer, she told me that working with children is very rewarding, but an aspect of working with kids is that it's very small baby steps to work towards improvement. So acknowledging the small things so they don't get down on themselves is very important. And finally, understanding. So there's two aspects of this. One is understanding their history. That's something that a lot of our OT classes already are talking about, making sure that when you do an occupational profile, you're taking into account their relationship status, any past medical history, anything like that, because that obviously plays a really big role in how treatment will go. Also, another thing to keep in mind is their everyday occupations. Sit down and go with them through a day and what they do, or if they like to play tennis, if they like to play chess, if they like to write notes, like anything like that. So kind of understanding where they're coming from so that you can create the best treatment plan possible is really important.